This is the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast, an on-demand talk radio show that covers internet marketing best practices for chiropractors. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick McNamara. Welcome, everyone, to episode number 42 of the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Patrick McNamara, and today we're diving into the fourth episode of our Search Everywhere Optimization series with something that's going to bring everything together for you. Over the past 3 episodes, we've talked about the death of traditional SEO, the weekly tasks that put you in the top 3 map results, and how to optimize for AI recommendations. Today, I want to show you exactly how all of these pieces fit together in a systematic approach that grows with your practice. I call it the local SEO tiers, and it's going to help you understand exactly where you are right now and what your next step should be to scale your chiropractic marketing from survival to dominance. Here's what I've learned after 20 years in this industry. Most chiropractors approach marketing like they're throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. They hear about Google Ads, so they try that. Someone mentions social media, so they jump on Facebook. A colleague talks about SEO, so they hire the cheapest company they can find. The problem with this approach is that it's exhausting, expensive, and rarely produces consistent results. You end up scattered across multiple strategies without mastering any of them. What successful practices do differently is they follow a systematic, tiered approach. They build a solid foundation first, then layer on additional strategies as their practice grows and their needs evolve. Think of it like building a house. You don't start with the roof or the fancy fixtures. You start with a solid foundation, then build the frame, then add the finishing touches. Skip any of these steps, and the whole structure becomes unstable. The same principle applies to local SEO for chiropractors. Let me share a story that perfectly illustrates this concept. About 2 years ago, I had a conversation with a chiropractor who was frustrated with his marketing results. He was spending $3,000 a month on Google Ads, another $1,500 on social media management, and $800 on a basic SEO package. His total marketing spend was over $5,000 per month, but he was barely breaking even on new patients. He felt like he was constantly chasing the next marketing trend, and nothing seemed to work consistently. When I analyzed his online presence, I discovered something that's unfortunately very common. He had skipped the fundamentals. His Google business profile was incomplete, he wasn't posting regularly, his website was outdated, and he had no systematic approach to patient education content. He was trying to run advanced marketing strategies on a foundation that couldn't support them. We completely restructured his approach using the 3-tier system I'm going to share with you today. Within 6 months, he had cut his marketing spend by 60% while increasing his new patient volume by 40%. How? By building the right foundation first, and then systematically layering on additional strategies. So let me break down these 3 tiers for you, help you identify where you currently are, and show you exactly what your next step should be. Tier 1, start local, win local. Tier 1 is all about dominating your local map results through Google Business Profile Management. This is your foundation. Everything else builds on top of this. If you're in Tier 1, your focus should be 100% on the 7 weekly tasks we discussed in episode 40. Posting fresh content every week, uploading unique images, engaging with reviews, utilizing Google Q&A, maintaining citation consistency, analyzing insights, and tracking your rankings. This tier is perfect for new practices that are struggling with inconsistent patient flow, or established practices that have neglected their online presence. Here's what success looks like in Tier 1. You're consistently ranking in the top 3 map results for your primary keywords. Your phone is ringing regularly from Google Business Profile views. Patients are finding you easily when they search for chiropractors in your area. The investment for Tier 1 is relatively modest, either time if you're doing it yourself or a few $100s per month if you're outsourcing the management. But the ROI can be significant because you're capturing patients who are actively searching for chiropractic care in your immediate area. Most practices should stay in Tier 1 for at least 3 to 6 months to build a solid foundation before moving to the next level. Tier 2, rank higher, reach further. Tier 2 combines Google Business Profile Management with comprehensive website optimization. This is where you start expanding your reach beyond just map results and begin ranking in the organic search results as well. If you're in Tier 2, you keep doing everything from Tier 1, but you add on-site SEO optimization, content creation, and technical website improvements. You're building authority not just locally, but for a broader range of keywords and conditions. This tier is ideal for practices that have mastered their local presence and want to capture more of the market, practices competing in highly competitive areas, or practices that want to establish themselves as the go-to experts for specific conditions. In Tier 2, we're optimizing your website structure, page content, and local signals so you rank higher across multiple search queries. We're creating comprehensive condition pages, improving site speed, and ensuring your website works seamlessly on mobile devices. Here's what success looks like in Tier 2. You're not just ranking in the map pack, you're also showing up on the first page of organic results for condition-specific searches like sciatica treatment, your city, or sports chiropractor near me. Your website is converting visitors into patients, and you're capturing a larger share of the local market. The investment for Tier 2 is higher, typically several hundred to over $1,000 per month, depending on the scope of work. But you're also reaching a much larger audience and establishing stronger authority in your market. Most practices benefit from staying in Tier 2 for 6 to 12 months to fully realize the benefits before considering Tier 3. Tier 3, be the authority everywhere. Tier 3 is where everything we've discussed in this series comes together. You keep doing everything from Tiers 1 and 2, but you add comprehensive search everywhere optimization, content specifically structured for AI search engines, authority building across multiple platforms, and positioning yourself as the definitive expert in your area. If you're in Tier 3, you're not just competing locally, you're dominating. You're the practice that AI assistants recommend. You're the expert that other healthcare providers refer to. You're the authority that patients trust above all others. This tier includes everything we've discussed about AI optimization, comprehensive condition guides, conversational content, local expertise demonstration, patient outcome showcases, and cutting-edge, evidence-based information. Tier 3 is perfect for established practices that want to maximize their market share, practices in highly competitive markets where differentiation is crucial, or practices that want to build a reputation that extends beyond their immediate area. Here's what success looks like in Tier 3. You're ranking at the top of both traditional and AI-powered search results. When people ask ChatGPT or Claude for chiropractor recommendations in your area, your practice gets mentioned consistently. Other healthcare providers in your community view you as the go-to expert. Your practice becomes the obvious choice for patients seeking the highest level of care. The investment for Tier 3 is the highest, often $1,500 to $3,000 plus per month. But you're also achieving market dominance and building a practice that's virtually immune to competition. Now, here's the key insight that most chiropractors miss: you cannot skip tiers. I see practices try to jump straight to Tier 3 strategies without building the foundation. They want to create comprehensive AI-optimized content, but their Google business profile is a mess. They want to rank for competitive keywords, but they're not even showing up in their local map pack. It's like trying to build the second floor of a house before you've finished the foundation. It doesn't work, and it wastes a lot of time and money. The practices that achieve the best results follow the tiers systematically. They master each level before moving to the next one. So how do you know which tier you should be focusing on right now? Let me give you a simple diagnostic framework. You should focus on Tier 1 if you're not consistently ranking in the top 3 map results for your specialty, your city. Your Google business profile is incomplete or hasn't been updated in months. You're getting fewer than 10 new patient calls per month from online sources. You're a new practice or haven't focused on online marketing before. You should move to Tier 2 if you're consistently ranking in the top 3 map results. Your Google business profile is optimized and actively managed. You're getting steady calls from your local presence, but want to expand your reach. You're ready to invest more in comprehensive website optimization. You should advance to Tier 3 if you've mastered both local maps and organic website rankings. You're already established as a local authority, but want to dominate your market. You're in a highly competitive area and need advanced differentiation. You want to future-proof your practice against emerging competition. Here's a practical exercise I want you to do this week. Honestly assess where you currently are. Look at your Google business profile. Is it complete? Are you posting weekly? Are you responding to reviews? Are you ranking in the top 3 for your main keywords? If the answer to any of these questions is no, then Tier 1 should be your focus. Don't get distracted by advanced strategies until you've built this foundation. If you've mastered Tier 1 and you're ready to expand, then it's time to move to Tier 2. Focus on comprehensive website optimization and content creation, and if you've mastered both Tier 1 and Tier 2, then Tier 3 is where you can really start to dominate your market with cutting-edge strategies. The beauty of this tiered approach is that it gives you a clear path forward. You always know what to focus on next, and you're building on a solid foundation at each level. Let me paint a picture for you. This isn't a specific client, but it's a scenario I see all the time. A chiropractic practice stuck at around 30 new patients per month for 2 years. They tried everything, different ad agencies, social media campaigns, SEO companies, but nothing moved the needle in a lasting way. Why? Because they were trying to run Tier 3 strategies, things like content marketing and authority building, on a Tier 1 foundation that was falling apart. Their Google business profile was outdated. They weren't posting consistently, and they had citation issues all over the web. So instead of piling on more tactics, we stripped it back to the basics and focused purely on Tier 1 for 4 months. We cleaned up their Google business profile, established a weekly posting schedule, fixed the citations, and zeroed in on getting them ranked in the top 3 of the map pack. By month 4, they were there, ranking in the top 3, and their new patient numbers jumped to 45 per month. That's a 50% improvement just from mastering the fundamentals. Then we moved into Tier 2. We optimized their website, built out condition-specific pages, and tightened up their technical SEO. By month 8, they were pulling in 65 new patients a month. Finally, we layered in Tier 3, AI-optimized blog content, patient education tools, and advanced authority building strategies. By the end of the first year, they were consistently seeing 85 to 90 new patients every single month. That's nearly a 200% increase, not from throwing money at more marketing, but from following a clear, strategic path and building on a solid foundation. And here's the takeaway. Most chiropractors aren't underperforming because they're not working hard enough. They're just out of alignment with their strategy tier. You fix the foundation first, and everything else starts working the way it's supposed to. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Dr. Mack, this sounds great in theory, but I don't have the time or expertise to manage all of this myself. You're absolutely right. Most successful chiropractors recognize that systematic local SEO requires dedicated expertise and ongoing management. That's exactly why we structured our services at DCRank around these 3 tiers. You can start with Tier 1 Google Business Profile Management and scale up as your practice grows and your needs evolve. You're never paying for services you don't need, but you always have a clear path to the next level. Here's my challenge for you this week. Determine which tier you should be focusing on right now and commit to mastering that level before moving to the next one. If you're in Tier 1, focus exclusively on Google Business Profile optimization for the next 90 days. Don't get distracted by website projects or advanced content strategies. Master your local presence first. If you're ready for Tier 2, start planning your website optimization strategy. What condition pages do you need? How can you improve your site structure? What technical issues need to be addressed? If you're ready for Tier 3, start thinking about comprehensive content creation and AI optimization. How can you demonstrate your expertise more effectively? What makes you the obvious choice in your market? The key is to be systematic. Master each tier before moving to the next one, and you'll build a marketing foundation that supports consistent, long-term growth. If you want to learn more about how DCRank can help you navigate these tiers and scale your practice systematically, visit DCRank.com. That's DCRank.com. In our next episode, we're going to dive deep into something that's crucial for every tier, but becomes especially important in Tier 3, review management in the AI age. We'll discuss how patient feedback now influences AI recommendations and share strategies for systematic review generation that builds authority across all platforms. Because here's something most chiropractors don't realize. Reviews aren't just about social proof anymore. They're becoming a ranking factor in AI recommendations, and the practices that master review management are going to have a significant advantage in this new landscape. All right, that wraps things up for today's episode. Thanks for tuning in to the Chiropractic Marketing Podcast. Before you go, remember to subscribe to my podcast on your favorite platform. Whether it's Apple Podcasts, Audible, YouTube Podcasts, Spotify, or others, I've got you covered. If you need to see a full list of supported platforms, simply visit chiropracticmarketingpodcast.com. Last but certainly not least, I'd love to hear your thoughts on Apple Podcasts. Your reviews not only help build awareness of what I'm talking about, but also give me a good indication of how I'm doing. Be nice, be fair, but definitely be honest. I would greatly appreciate it, and so will future listeners. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you next time.